private securities transaction. Now, a private securities transaction is where a registered representative will be offering securities that their firm does not offer. Offering securities their firm does not offer. Before engaging in the private securities transaction, also known as selling away, the registered rep must give their firm prior written notice. Now, no approval is needed if compensation is not paid, but firms may restrict activity. Now, if the registered person is going to be compensated for selling these securities, then the registered person must get their firm's approval, and the firm will supervise the activity of the registered person, and the firm would carry the trades on their books and records. Take a look at an example of this. I'm a registered rep with a broker-dealer. I've got a friend who has decided to open a restaurant in our community, and my friend needs to raise capital. He's decided to sell stock in his restaurant, and he's asked me to help him sell that stock. So if I do that, if I help my friend sell stock in his restaurant, I would be offering securities that my firm does not offer. That would be a private securities transaction. That's selling away. What would have to happen? Before I sell these securities, I must give my firm written notice. Now, do I have to get my firm's approval? If I'm not going to be compensated on the sale of these securities, I do not need my firm's approval. Now, my firm could restrict my activity. They could say, well, you're not going to sell during trading hours, or you're not going to sell while you're in the office, or you're not going to use our computers. So they could restrict my activity. But as long as I'm not being compensated, I don't need their approval. Now, if I'm going to be compensated, so my friend tells me, if you help me, I'll pay you. If I'm going to be compensated, now I've got to notify my firm and I've got to get my firm's approval. And if my firm approves this activity, they are agreeing to supervise my transactions, and they'll carry the trades on their books and records, on their blotters and ledgers. So my firm basically has agreed to offer these securities.